This is The Discourse with Dr. Ken.
Hello out there. Good afternoon once more. Welcome to another edition of The Discourse with Dr. Ken. It's a beautiful Sunday out there. We're going to have fun today, I suppose. I have two wonderful guests with me today. One in the studio, and the second guest will join me via Zoom.
This is The Discourse with Dr. Ken.
Yeah, today's topic on The Discourse is passion to business, the role of fashion in creativity. What a topic we have today. Passion to business, the role of fashion in creativity. And I have two guests with me. One in the studio is the great MUDI. His full name, by the way, a lot of you don't know, is MUDIAGA ENAJEMO. MUDI, how are you today?
I'm fine.
It was difficult tracking you down. If you're not in Cote d'Ivoire, you're in Ghana. If you're not in Ghana, you are in so many places. How many branches do you have globally now, worldwide?
Outside Nigeria, 3.
3?
Used to be 4. But shorter than Senegal. 3 years ago.
Fantastic. So I have MUDI in the house, MUDIAGA ENAJEMO. And then I have with me joining through Zoom OSEREME OKOJIE. OSEREME, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Are you happy? Happy? Are you happy? You're in Abuja, isn't it?
Yes, I'm in Abuja.
How's the atmosphere there? You got the fuel? Because I can see your emotion. You got the fuel?
I got the fuel.
Fantastic. What a wonderful city you have there in Abuja. You have scarcity in the midst of plenty. Anyway, OSEREME is with me via Zoom, and MUDI is here with me. As customary on the program, let me take a very short version of their profile. MUDIAGA ENAJEMO. MUDI is a testament to the power of perseverance, determination, and creative reinvention. MUDI is a talented entrepreneur who transformed his childhood passion for art and creativity into a successful fashion business. MUDI's innovative spirit led him to create unique handmade fashion solutions. He beautifies with fabric in a manner that communicates and illuminates. MUDI is an inspiration to all generations. He was first to design clothes for presidents and prime ministers in Africa. He's a global fashion award winner with strong interest in society and human development. MUDI, I didn't miss out anything, did I?
No.
Fantastic. I tried to capture it.
You tried.
Your long profile. Let me take that of OSEREME OKOJIE. OSEREME OKOJIE is a fashion entrepreneur and a YouTuber. Her content focuses on fashion, lifestyle, and entrepreneurship. OSEREME runs a thriving fashion business and is a graduate of microbiology who inspires many through her creative endeavors. I got that right to say, isn't it? Hello?
Yes, sir, that's right. Yes, that's right.
Fantastic. So you're welcome listeners. You can reach us today on WhatsApp number 09092172973. I'll take that again. 09092172973. Let me start with MUDI. And by the way, the discourse, we try to focus more on the business side of things, not gossip like others would make their way of living. We do this because it's a possible. This allows us to see people turning their talent and assets and create value through entrepreneurship. So MUDI, please tell us about the story of MUDI. What is your background and how did this background define your future? How you be? I'll mix today's program both in Pidgin and in English because MUDI, and we'll talk about worry today, MUDI. So how did you start? How did this story start?
Let me start by saying a big thank you to Classic FM and Dr. Ken for this opportunity to tell my story.
Yes.
It started in 1993, precisely September, K2.
In K2?
K2, yes.
1993?
Yeah, 1993.
Okay.
Then, when I was growing up, most of my friends who I grew up with then usually when they want to buy clothes, they seek my opinion to advise them what I want to wear and to buy, how to dress. So I grew with that mentality of looking good, and I'm an artist.
Okay.
I illustrate a lot. So those two things actually prepare me to fashion designing. So what I did then was to just go approach a roadside tailor.
Okay.
To have the basic of knowledge of how to cut and sew.
Okay.
The rest is history.
So, what were you encouraged or were you discouraged? Because as young, at that age, parents or whoever is a guardian can either encourage or discourage and say, no, you have to be a doctor, a lawyer, forget about this sewing or cutting and sewing and measuring.
It's normal in Nigeria. Most times we base too much emphasis on certificates. Without that previewed knowledge of look, you can actually do well.
Yes, with your God-given talent.
And it was rough for me, as I must confess, it was rough. But with the encouragement of few friends, relatives who actually understand my dress sense, they said, come on, move on. We'll give you whatever support
you can do it.
Until I now met RMD.
Yeah, we'll talk about that because I read about you.
Yes.
And I saw that meeting with RMD.
Yes.
That interface and how it changed everything, the trajectory of your life and your history. So, Osereme, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Fantastic. You heard MUDI, but I like to talk about education a lot, and I can see you're a graduate of microbiology, yet you can see the trajectory you have followed and made a good outcome out of it. So, in your estimation, how important is education as a plank for the journey of life?
I feel like it actually makes a huge difference. Despite the fact that a lot of people now say school is calm and all of that, I feel like education just places you on a whole different level. There are some kind of people you're able to relate with just because you are educated, and if you're not and you're doing the exact same thing, you will not be able to. For example, fashion design. There are so many people who are into fashion design right now, and you can easily tell a difference between one who has some form of education and one who isn't. And again, the type of people you tend to that tend to become your customers will actually be very different, because education actually exposes you in a way to just like people who are of like minds. For example, you are in the university, you start from there, and then these people grow up to become maybe ministers, or they are working in one office or the other. They will continue to become your customers. But then there's someone else who doesn't have any form of education, and then you started off, although I know there are some fashion designers who are very big and did not have any form of formal education, like having a certificate, but I just feel like there are some rooms that you cannot actually walk into if you don't have a form of education.
So,
and
but
there are some people you cannot work with if you're not educated.
So, I know that education is multifaceted. It's not just being certified or having a certificate.
Yeah.
So, what other types of education can help someone build a foundation for this kind of journey?
For this type of a journey, I feel like getting the skills first of all,
okay,
and then reading about people who are already in the field, going for mentorship if you can,
yes,
you can afford it. Meet with people, get to connect with them. Don't just sit down and feel like, okay, I already know how to do this thing, and just be very comfortable. That's one thing that a lot of people, you see other fashion designers doing so well, but somehow you're very comfortable. You're like, oh, I'm self-taught, and you're just there. It is okay. I believe that it is okay to learn from other people, despite the fact that you're self-taught. You can learn from other people. There is always something new to learn. So if there is an opportunity for you to learn from someone else, do make sure that you are taking advantage of it. And it doesn't always have to be someone ahead of you. Even people that are working with you can have one or two things that they know that you actually do not know. So just be open to learning. That's what I believe can actually put you in place on a good start in this type of business.
Yeah, so I hear mentoring, I hear you being able to open up your mind, so you take up ideas, assimilate them, because you never can tell. Then you have to be relevant contemporarily, if I hear what you are saying. So you learn and unlearn, and then of course mentorship and role modeling plays a key role. Yeah. Now, do you think Nigeria has a clear-cut policy that clarifies the role the creative economy should play in building the Nigerian GDP and the Nigerian economy at large? Is Nigeria helping? Do we have a clear-cut policy? Because what you guys have just said looks to me like a very important aspect of our national life, could become a very important contributor to the GDP and our economy. Is Nigeria paying attention to it? If Nigeria is paying attention to this, do you feel, having been in this industry this while, that there's a clear-cut policy to tap into this sector?
I don't know if I don't know if there's a policy. I don't think there is any, actually. And although there is this thing going on that the Nigerian leaders are like, everybody should learn a trade. I was hearing something recently that they said secondary school students now have to learn at least 2 trades and all of that. But I feel like these are things that they just say, but there's actually nothing put in place to actually make it easier. There are a lot of people out there who actually want to learn one skill or the other. There are so many fashion designers and tailors right now, but what we need first of all is like electricity, and it is so hard for a lot of people in some places to actually have a constant electricity, to actually have their sewing process going on and on. And then a lot of tailors would and designers would resort to say, okay, let's start buying 4 and buying gen. And then the next thing we hear is, okay, this is now over the roof. You are not buying one liter for like 1,000 something. So at the end of the day, I feel like, yes, they are saying all of this. We want you people to go back to doing things, do this and do that, learn a trade, but nothing is being put in place to actually make it easy for people to actually do these things.
Yes, Mudi. So when I talk about policy, I'm talking of a direction, because normally when a country establishes areas that can contribute to their GDP, they are normally deliberate about it. So they put strategy in place and policy. Do you feel that Nigeria has a strategy and policy together that can energize the creative industry?
But sir, to me, apart from policy, we have to be deliberate in terms of patronage. If you have policy and no patronage, it drives. They do will progress.
So when you say patronage, what do you mean?
In terms of added value, one, believing in what we do in Nigeria.
Okay.
If we all, but the guess when we started, there was no social media and the market was smaller.
Okay.
Under military rule. No House of Assembly, out of reps. But now the market is bigger now, which drives demand for Nigerian-made clothes, which is good for us. It's helping the market. But another thing too, apart from you don't even need the policy to drive. It has to be deliberate. Those that are doing well, recognize them, fund them. That designers who are so creative, that's some in the Bakaleki, Zaria, Abiyokuta are doing well. You can fish them out. If I have my way, I will talk to all the MDs of banks. Set 100 million naira aside
we'll come to funding.
For risk taking.
Yes, but you will come to that.
Risk-taking.
We'll come to funding because there's no way I'll finish this conversation without talking about finance, which should be blood transfusion for any type of business, more so the fashion business. But we have Federal Minister of you have a creative minister in charge of creative economy, isn't it? Can you feel that?
But sir, another thing is, if you have policy, you need human being to drive the policy. Whoever is driving the policy doesn't have the kind of mindset that will drive economy. There's nothing can move. Yeah, that's what we have to.
But do you feel this ministry?
I don't feel. I can't feel. Sorry.
No, you don't.
Yes.
Okay, we'll go on break. When we come back, we'll talk more about how Nigeria can help the creative industry, especially the fashion industry. Please stay tuned.
This is The Discourse with Dr. Ken.
Yeah, welcome back. This is Discourse with Dr. Ken. Today's topic is passion to business, the role of passion in creativity. And I have MUDI in studio. MUDIAGA ENAJEMO is his full name. I'm sure you guys know MUDI. MUDI is everywhere. He's in Ghana, he's in Senegal, winding down Senegal now for economic reasons, I think. No, it's just political reasons.
You're right.
And then he's still clothing some ministers and prime ministers and presidents across Africa. Now, you've dragged me into finance, Mudi, and I'll start with that now, since that is an area of concern. But please, you can join this conversation by using our WhatsApp number 09092172973. I take that again, 09092172973. So let's talk finance, Mudi, since that is a pain point for you. How do the financial institutions, especially banks, assist the creatives to tap and develop their enormous potentials? Have they been assisting?
For me, I would say so about trying, but you have to do more.
Okay.
Do you know, for instance,
so you are saying there's nothing deliberate they've done. There
should be a way.
Okay.
The likes of Kocharis, Kosomaduka, Patutomi, put them like a board, like a trustee. Put money aside from all the banks to make profit. And
why those specific names?
I'm coming. Do you know why? They understand business.
Okay.
People like Kosomaduka can smell fee enterprise. Okay. Because they've done it over the years. Some of the bankers, with due respect to a lot of them, they all they know is figures. They can't feel potentials. Okay. You go to them, you have ideas, you want to interpret.
They don't have people who understand ideas conversion,
There was a time I needed funds to expand. When I wanted to buy my property in Anthony for expansion, I went to Bank of Industry. I was asked to meet a lady who was a newscaster. There was no way she understand business. To me, with due respect, I was frustrated. I left until GT Bank now came to my rescue. I was able to buy the property through the loan they gave to me.
You pay me for that advert.
Oh, sorry to see. I'm sorry. so there are times we have to be deliberate. If all the banks put in aside even 50 million naira every year,
so there should be a desk for in charge of the creative world.
Yes, 50 million naira per bank.
Just 50?
Yeah, for example, just start with 50 million naira for risk taking. You go around the country, people with ideas, they fund them. If you fund 10, there's no way 5 will not do well. As they do well, you attach boys to train under them. You cannot expand the economy. It's as simple for me as simple as we don't need seminars, conference to do that. Okay. It has to be deliberate.
So what do you think, Osereme? We are talking finance now. So how do the financial institutions so far, especially banks, assist the creative industry, because there's need to tap and develop this enormous potential?
I've never had anything to do with like banks.
Why?
As regards giving loans and all of that. So it would be nice to be able to actually walk in and share your ideas and say, okay, this is it, this is what I want to do, and then actually have them being able to like support the dream that you have and actually provide the money. But I feel like, yes, it is okay to say that the financial institutions to make money available, but I feel like one thing that actually makes it a bit difficult generally from what I've known from Nigerians and taking loan is that some people actually don't end up paying up, and nobody wants to just put money aside and then, you know how Nigerians can be. You can put it out there that, oh, if you're a fashion designer, you can come, we have 50 million naira, pitch us your idea and then let us know what you're going to do with this money, and then we are going to give it to you. And you'll be surprised, yes, a lot of people will come with ideas and everything, but before they can actually put money in place for something like this, they have to be sure there's a way to get it back. Because Nigerians are very funny. You can put money in place, yes, but how are you sure this person is going to take this money and actually do what he has said he's going to do with it? Some people can take this money and the next thing they're outside of Nigeria, and what is the chance that you ever see them again? So I feel like, yes, it's okay to say let them put money in place, but before they put money in place, they have to put something in place as well to make sure that this money that you're giving out to people that they are saying, okay, I have this plan that in the next 5 years is going to bring me so much money and I'm going to be able to pay off this loan that I'm using to start off this business, that the business actually do the thing that they're saying they intend to do with it. It's not just about giving the money. There has to be something in place to make sure that the money that is given out is actually doing what it is meant for.
Okay, so MUDI, you heard her. So what I hear her say is that yes, it's okay, and we can solicit support from bank and financial institutions. But now, for a creative, it's not enough to just be a creative. A creative should have a manager, and this manager should understand what that creative product is. He should understand route to market. He should understand strategy. He should understand business conversion, business perpetuation, business acceleration and protection, things like that. So he's an expert. So do these creatives, especially in the fashion industry, do you have managers who understand this, who can take your ideas to the bank and make it bankable?
But sir, let me go back to what she said. Sally said. I need to correct a notion here.
Okay.
When you say Nigerians generally don't pay, Nigerians who are credible, there are a lot of Nigerians who are credible.
Okay.
They can pay back. They will pay back. When I said for risk-taking, they go around, not only designers, shoemakers who are doing well, you can actually phone them, not only designers, but people who are very creative with different aspects of life, doing so well, but all you need is just a little breakthrough.
Yeah.
Mind you, when they give these loans out, you don't necessarily give them the cash. They ask the world, what do you require to take your business to another level? Do you need a generator? Do you need a bigger machine? You buy this machine, the money will still go back to the bank. The money will surely go back to the bank. So, the money they are making, all the profits they are making from Nigerians, are from Nigerians made through tax, stamp duties and the rest. So the money go back to the bank.
Yes, I understand.
It's like risk taking.
Yes,
if you take a risk for 10 people, out of 10, at least 7 will do well.
Yes, but I understand all that. But Osereme, do these creatives, especially in your fashion industry, do you have managers that can make these ideas bankable and take it to the bank so that the banks can understand that this is a business? Because they are not for the Christmas.
Can I come in?
Yeah.
For example, what they do is when I mentioned those names earlier, like Kocharis and Patitomi, they can go around the country, look for a designer or a shoemaker who is well structured, but just in a small amount of money to take the business to another level.
Most of these creative business, are they well structured?
Some are well structured.
Some?
Yes.
So those that are well structured, they go to the bank
they can go to
and
the
approach them in a structured manner?
Yes.
They do?
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
Initially, when I started this job, most of my friends, they looked down on me. But today, they have so much belief because I put in so much effort to build a structure.
You've come very far, yeah?
Yes. So once the structure is there, the mindset is there, you have a clear-headed thinking designer, you go far.
So do you have a manager that understands business?
Yes, I have.
You do?
Yes.
So do you get my question? So most of these people, they are good in their creative work. But do they have structure in place? Do they have managers who understand business, can put business proposals in place so that ideas can become bankable?
I think that was what I was trying to drive at the first time. It's not just about saying I am good at this thing and then I want some people to just give me a lot of money that I'm going to put it on it. To be very sincere, I know that I'm not 95% of the companies, let's say fashion businesses in Nigeria, because that's what we're talking about mostly today, do not have manager. It's just one person behind a so-called brand.
Yes.
A lot of people just carry the name CEO, but it's just one person. There is no manager. There is no other person but you. You are the manager. You are every single thing. You're very good. You're very creative. You know how to draft out patterns and all of that. But there is nothing outside of that. So I guess that's what I was trying to say. There has to be a structure.
There must be, yeah.
So 95% of Nigerian people in the fashion industry do not have that.
Okay.
I bet to be actually
disagreed there.
Corrected.
So, okay. Yeah.
But I feel like that's not the case. It's just like one person who has a sewing machine, or probably they have 2 or 3 people working for them. And it's just like one person in charge. So it's easy to say, oh, I want to do this thing, but there is no money. But there's nothing put in place. It's just you. And if they give you the money, what is the chance that you're going to do exactly what you said you're going to do with it? When it's just you doing the thing, you are everything.
Yes.
Basically.
Okay. So, there are a couple of messages. I cannot read all of them, but I take this interesting one from Ricky Osbu. He's saying, how do we grow the fashion industry in Nigeria when we are not patriotic? Why do we not wear majorly made in Nigeria, fashion-made products? I think we do these days, MUDI. I think, isn't it?
We do these days, actually.
Yeah.
We do.
We do so well.
Yes, we're doing very well there, isn't it? Yeah.
So well.
Great. So, MUDI, you've heard about intellectual property, isn't it?
Yes.
So, what makes intellectual property? How can we safeguard it? How strong are we in Nigeria? How do people from this field, the fashion world, understand intellectual property and the need to articulate and guide it?
So we're not strong yet.
Okay.
Do you know why? There are people who are out there just looking for your ideas to tap into to make money.
Yeah. So just protect the ideas.
Even abroad, they still copy foreign designers. So it will be difficult for here to implement whatever policy you have to implement it. Because first of all, you have to understand the environment, our culture, our values. For example, I see a lot of people, they copy my designs. When I see, I know. But the less you can do more, you can't do much. So by Enugu, so by Port Harcourt, Abuja, they just have to copy. And I tried copy, no shame, no fear, no conscience.
But do you have a lawyer who understands intellectual property?
I have a lawyer,
Okay.
but there are times you look at other issues that we...
No, but have you patented your own copy?
Yes,
and
I have.
Yeah, so why don't you do something about it?
Back to what I said earlier,
Yes.
you have to understand the environment you work from. If someone, for example, you buy my outfit for me, for example, maybe 400,000 naira, for example, you go to Enugu, somewhere wearing the same design. What can you do? I'm not going to go to Enugu, start confronting. At times, the little you can do, move the environment, other mindset as well.
So, Osareme, what do you think about intellectual property and as it concerns Nigeria?
I think the major thing that actually causes the huge copying in Nigeria is the fact that bespoke tailoring is like the major type of, when it comes to fashion, like bespoke is still like the major one. So you might not be interested in actually copying someone's design, but somehow your client just comes with a screenshot and it's like, you see this style like this, exactly, this is what I want. This is exactly what I want. And like Mr. Mudi said, it's the environment we are in that's actually the major issue. So the thing that you see someone in Enugu, the client probably screenshotted your design and then sent it to this tailor and it's like, this is what I want. The tailor most likely doesn't even know who designed this outfit. Their own is to recreate it for the client. And then someone else sees it on this client, they're like, oh, I like this style. They take the picture to someone else and it keeps going like that. And like you said, how many people can you actually hold? Even though you have the law and everything in place to actually guard your intellectual property. Someone in Enugu is doing it. Someone in Edo State has screenshotted it as well. Someone in where do I say, Kaduna has screenshotted it. How many places can you actually go? I think the major reason why this keeps on going is just the fact that bespoke is still like the major thing that is actually going on in Nigeria. Although I know that the ready-to-wear brands now, there is like this huge, someone does it, then I create it my own way or use another fabric, something like that. But it's still the bespoke thing of taking a screenshot and sending it to your tailor that is like the major reason why this keeps going.
Okay, that's great.
This is The Discourse with Dr. Ken.
Now, education, Osereme. So I like education a lot. So I'm going back to education. The kind of education, skill acquisition, capacity building we have in our Nigerian educational system and the curriculum. Do you think there's something we can tweak in this curriculum to help us begin to identify and grow people who have talent for this kind of industry?
Yeah, I think it's not just about putting, like, I think, for example, let's say arts and crafts is a course in the curriculum.
Yes.
It's not just about putting it there and then giving us a bunch of, notes and theoretical stuff. You just have a whole book full, another one is full, and it's just theory. And by the time, probably it's 3 years, for 3 years you're taking this course, and by the time you're done, there is no single day that you ever had to practice. I feel like it should be more practical rather than just giving us a bunch of things and saying, oh, you mix this together. Let me see it. Show me how to do it rather than just saying it and giving me a bunch of things that happened in 1990 and just having to cram and pass. It's time we start actually going to, if it's both to the place where it's happening, show them this is it, this is how you do it.
Some practical experience, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, Mudi, what do you think in our educational curriculum? Is there anything at what level do you think we should begin to tweak it so that it helps the creative industry better?
One thing we must start with by saying, let me say this way, we must change our mindset of placing value on whoever has talent.
Okay.
Yeah, we talk down on plumbers, mechanic. It has a way of slowing you down mentally. Not to go. You have that self-esteem no more.
It can discourage.
Yes. If you're in Nigeria, if you didn't go to university and you're talented in whatever field, if you don't have self-confidence, you can't do well.
Is that not changing? Because a lot of these people you mentioned now, artisans, plumbers, electricians, they are earning more than the average graduate.
Yes, they're earning. But what I'm saying is, they're earning, but in terms of value.
Esteem,
Yes, team. Most of them don't have self-confidence.
Because I hear a lot of problem around speed and turnaround time. How come nobody has, turned that to become a unique selling proposition?
So, for example, let me start. So, can I go ahead?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
A client walk into your office, say, MUDI, I need an outfit for tomorrow or next tomorrow. That can be done within 2 or 4 hours. Just to appoint 2 of your staff to take charge of your outfit. If, for example, you're a person walking to your office by 2 p.m., you say, MUDI, can I get it tomorrow evening? I'm talking from my personal experience.
Yes.
And you say tomorrow you get it by 12, thinking that whoever will be in charge of that particular outfit, or what we call division of labor, that person tomorrow, John, tomorrow come early and start this outfit. John gets home and his wife sick.
Something happens.
Something happen. That jeopardize whatever plan you have to make that outfit tomorrow. And you can't pass that information to your staff, to your clients. Look at you, not responsible. Meanwhile, you focus the mind that this thing can be done between 9 a.m. and 12 noon. What would you tell your clients? If that clients come into your office, you begin to react. How come you can't deliver?
Yes, so I hear you, MUDI. So because this is a pain point for most customers, this turnaround time and speed. So why don't you factor in all those unforeseen circumstances before you promise? Because what is a brand? Is a promise kept?
But most time easier to say it.
No, it's not easier. You just say it's not possible. You cannot get it tomorrow. You get it in 4 days, 5 days, and you stick with it and you deliver. Why is it difficult for people in this industry? You stick with it and you deliver. Why is it difficult for people in this industry?
Even your studio here. Because mind you, our job not computer based, it's hands on. Not that you can just drive to the computer to your.
Yeah, you just mentioned your worker that is just. Go ahead.
If you have 4 tailors and maybe 5 to a particular outfit, and that 5 something happen, and mind you, the remaining 4 there are backlog of job. You have to turn out. Job particular one you are assigned to that outfit, fall sick. What will not happen?
What will happen is that planning has failed, isn't it? So planning has failed. Planning is an issue. So what do you think? What do you think? Planning is an issue.
Yes.
I'm actually always of the opinion that if it's not going to be something I can do, it's just best to tell you.
You don't promise it.
It's just I can't tell you tomorrow when I'm not sure it will be tomorrow. And again, if the time is too short, why would anybody want a dress and want it tomorrow? I know, there are some times where something just comes up, and yes, if you have enough hand and you know that okay, we can start it now, not hoping that the person is going to come tomorrow and start doing the work. If I know that okay, the people are here right now, I can actually start now and hopefully by tomorrow, and I know that it's not even a thing of hopefully by tomorrow. It should be that okay, in the next 3 to 4 hours, we should be able to have gone this far. And if, for example, we have to do anything tomorrow, it will be something that doesn't require maybe electricity or something that will make me start saying, oh, sorry, this happened. Nobody wants to hear that. You said it will be available, and they want to see that it's available. They don't know whether your gen all of a sudden decided to pack up and there was no lights. Do you understand? So if I'm sure that, okay, we can do it to like 80% today, and tomorrow what we'll be doing is bidding, and that bidding is going to take us 3 hours, and I've told her to come by 5 p.m. Okay, let's say in the morning we'll start the bidding by 6 and we'll finish it by 8. I can say, okay, that's because the bidding does not require electricity. I'm not going to need gen. I'm going to probably need the girls, and I have up to 4 girls on ground, right, for that particular address. But if it's a situation where it's just one person, and that person, you're not sure he will wake up tomorrow and tell you, oh, something happened, or on my way to work, something happened. Just say no. It's okay to say no. Oh, sorry, this is too short. If you are okay with us giving it to you in the next 3 days, that will be fine. But if it has to be tomorrow, then it's a no. And it's okay to say no. That's what I always tell people. Instead of taking something and you're not able to deliver, just let the person know. Let them go to someone that can probably do it for them.
So it's okay to say no. So what I hear both of you say is that there's need for planning. But MUDI is still saying that circumstances other than planning comes into it. But planning is everything, MUDI, isn't it?
Definitely,
planning
yes.
is everything.
I agree.
Yeah, and if he must deliver tomorrow, so he probably should introduce some swagger pricing to it to say, okay, you pay me 4
Definitely.
times, isn't it? You pay me 4 times, so let that be the determinant. And if the person is ready to pay that, then you throw the kitchen sink at the job, isn't it?
But I knew that just some clients that will be very loyal to you for years, and they come into your place and say, I need this outfit in 2 days or 1 day. You can't, so, most times it's difficult to say no, so I'm very busy.
Well,
At times, some of these things.
but you need to protect your brand, and we're going to talk about reputation. Part of protecting that brand is delivering on promise, and that is time. So if it is no, it's a no. It's better that you after all in tailoring, it's better to measure 9 times and cut once. Instead of cutting once and measure 9 times.
There are jobs that I turn off.
Yes.
I'm just telling you that things happen unplanned for.
Yeah, provided it doesn't become the norm. I understand the exceptions, isn't it? So, how important is reputation to you, Mudi? Reputation. Is reputation everything? Is image everything?
It is, yes.
Image everything.
It is, yes.
So please.
I've been in the job for 30 years.
Okay.
This interview just coincides with my 30th anniversary.
30 years?
Yeah, 30
wow.
years.
It has implication. It means you need to call us, isn't it? 30 years is not a joke.
Yes, 30 years.
Yeah.
So, if I'm not doing something right, 30 years is not a joke.
I know.
By the grace of God, I've done well. I've given God the glory, but I've done well. For 30 years of sacrifice, obstacles, betrayals, even from your tailors, your staff.
Yeah.
But to remain in business for 30 years in Nigeria,
it's something worth celebrating. I'm going to celebrate that with you. But so reputation and image for you is everything.
Yes.
So you guard it jealously.
Yes, that's why I've been able to manage business for 30 years.
30 years. Fantastic.
I have clients who have patronized me for the past 20 years that still here. They still come. 20 years, 15 years.
So
loyal clients.
So that's why your word must be your bond. If it's not going to be, if you're not going to be able to deliver in 48 hours, you don't promise that. So it doesn't damage this reputation.
Yes, sir.
So, Osereme, how important is reputation and image in this business? Is it everything?
I feel, it is everything, because with the fact that we have social media now, it's no longer like Mr. Mudi said 30 years ago when you started, when if it happens that you're not able to deliver, there is nothing. But now, if you're not able to deliver, you will see yourself online being dragged.
Sure.
That begins to go on and on.
It becomes a brand eroder, isn't it?
The next thing someone will say, oh, do you know about this brand? It's like, is it not the one that they were talking about the other day?
Yeah.
And then it goes on like that. So I feel like it has to be guarded. You cannot allow a situation where you're...
because word of mouth can damage that business, can damage that reputation of 30 years, isn't it?
Internet does people forget. So
yes.
It's just there. The next day they see you, they're like, oh, this person, remember when they said, especially if it's someone who is a public figure that decides to just drag you, it's almost like God for you. So
we have to guard it jealously, because if you build a brand for 30 years, you have to guard it jealously. Guard it jealously. So I get that, and I know how difficult and how intricate that is. So, but Mudi, now I'm coming to celebrity, because she's talked about being a celebrity. So the star and the celebrity phenomenon is always growing. Mudi, please tell us listeners the typical life of a star or a celebrity, the sweet part and not so sweet part. Because there's a sweet part of being a celebrity known and the not so sweet part. How are you the manager?
It comes with a lot of sacrifice.
Okay.
You have to be disciplined to remain afloat.
Okay.
I tell people most times when I go, I don't put a Mudi toga. I put it aside.
Yes.
I
you don't hang it like a necklace.
I like to be myself. Most time I see people say, Mudi, you are very humble. I take it as a compliment, but why must I be proud?
Yeah.
Being proud, for me, humility is a way of life. You have to be proud. Just be who you are. But it's becoming very difficult to be who you are in Nigeria, because when you're simple, people take you for granted. Difficult. So most people just have that feeling that you have to have that air of importance to people to respect you. No, just be who you are. I want to be you are. Just be yourself. Make it very simple. You live longer. You'll spend less.
Oh, fantastic. So, Osereme, what's your take on that? This celebrity thing, it can be sweet and it can be bitter. Do you have such experiences, both sweet and bitter?
I feel like the people that follow me, for the best part, are actually sweet. But the little bad I've experienced is people just wanting to know everything about you. They are just there. They just want to know what is going on. That's why the fact that it is fashion design we are doing here. They want to know what is going on in your personal life and all of that. I guess that's like the bad part. And then if anything happens, let's say something happens that would normally not be a problem, it kind of becomes a problem and everybody starts talking about it just because you're popular. There are so many things that we hear and they say, this person did this, but so many people are doing it. But just because you are known, it becomes like a topic for discussion. So that's the only thing I see as like a bad part to it. But on the other hand, I feel like it actually gives you, it opens you to opportunities if you're somebody who actually is able to like catch opportunities when they come your way. It actually opens you. Being known actually gives you a lot of opportunities. There are things that you probably you meet someone, the person probably will be looking at you in a certain way, and then there are sometimes I meet people and I'm like, oh, this is what I do, and they check me on and they're like, wow, you just notice immediately the way they respond to you and the way they want to actually listen to what you're saying is different. But on the other hand, it can actually go wrong if you're not able to just like put everything in place and organize yourself and make sure that it doesn't get in your head.
Okay, so that's good. So, Osereme, since you spoke last, let me ask you this. You know, fashion is understood by different demographics differently. People between the ages of 45 and 60 and above understand fashion to be different, something different. The Gen Zs, which I think you belong to, and even younger, to understand fashion. Sometimes something that look fashionable to somebody under 30 to me look very funny and ridiculous. So how do society reconcile all this, you know?
When it comes to fashion design, I always say move with the trend.
Okay.
You can always do something and make it trendy. Let me use Bubu for example. Bubu used to be something that was only worn by mothers and grandmothers. I don't know if you know what Bubu is. Like these big dresses.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I know.
Yeah. But now, even Gen Z, someone like me now, I'm actually putting on one. In 10, 15 years ago, you will not see a young person putting on Bubu. Like, why? Why would I be putting on a Bubu? This is for the older generation. But somehow, we've been able to put the older generation and then the Gen Z, somehow we put everything together, and now the older generation still wear Bubu, but we've been able to make it in a way that even someone who is younger is attracted to want to wear it.
Okay.
So it's moving with the trend. Just no matter what you're doing, just make sure that you're staying up with the trend and trying to make sure that somehow you are incorporating the trend into the niche that you have chosen for yourself.
So, can we call it conflict or can we call it dissonance? You know, how fashion means to different demographics, what it means to different. The older people, fashion means something different. Younger people, especially very young, it means something else. Yet we need to somehow, collectively express ourselves. So, how do you see it?
To me, fashion is universal.
Okay.
And there are fashion rules you must follow. People tell you that my clothes I make, they are wearable clothes.
Okay.
If I go on the wrong way, my clothes are expressive.
Okay.
They express artistic to that wearable clothes. That's for me, because you must stay by the rules of fashion.
Okay.
You can look trendy, at the same time you have a bit of modesty to what you wear. So going out of board, to me, I can't stand it.
Yeah.
And mind you, there are designers who, for now, due respect to the likes of Osereme, I've not met her. You see them online, very popular online. They don't have structure.
Okay.
And it's damaging the industry. You see them on social media, there's so much glamour, fantasy, so much illusion, but there's no fantasy, no structure. No showroom, no workshop of their own.
It's form over substance.
Just it. But when you see them on social media, you can look at that illusion of and being so well.
Grandeur,
and it's not helping the industry.
It's just fluff, isn't it? Yeah. So it's challenging the fundamentals of the industry. I think every industry is like that. It's not just yours. So you take heart. I can tell you, whether it is in business or in leadership or even the creative, when I talk creative marketing, communications, and so on and so forth, you have a lot of that. But that is what the recent world is bringing to our laps today. So as we're winding down, let me ask you this question. How optimistic are you about Nigeria? MUDI? How important is morale as a factor of building business, especially private enterprise in Nigeria?
So I must confess, our values have changed.
Values
have changed.
Yeah.
When I started 19, less with me, Kester Jabari, Dakova, then the senior ones, sophisticated and building imagination. There was no social media.
Okay.
We actually build our brands on good work, performance, structure. But these days, the value has changed. And we must change our value in terms of how we rule ourselves, how we govern ourselves, how even we follow us.
And what is important to us and what is not.
Very important. We must have that mindset of one Nigeria first.
Okay.
Just look at who you feel that can pioneer our affair to a higher level.
Great. So as we round up, how optimistic are you about Nigeria and what you do?
I am very optimistic. Despite the fact that social media has its downsides and all of that, I still feel like it has actually opened up our eyes to seeing that, unlike before, like Mr. Mudi said, that then you had to I know you had to do a lot of work to actually get the recognition, but now a lot of people that would have never gotten recognition, even though they did a lot of work, actually now get it because they are putting themselves out there. And unlike before that, if you do not have a physical store and you need to get everything in place, now you can actually start somewhere. I'm not saying it's okay to stay where you are, but now with the way it is, you can start from where you are and you can actually get clients that you have never even met, sell to people that are probably outside of Nigeria, which is something that was not possible when there was no social media and we were not this exposed. So I feel like with the way it is, for anybody who actually knows what they are doing, it is going to be way better from here. It's a bit easier to grow a business now and actually have it grow than what it used to be. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying. I feel like
I'm happy both of you. Yes, I'm happy both of you are happy and optimistic about Nigeria regardless. It could be tough, but it's important that our cup stays half full instead of half empty. So, MUDI, lastly, as a pure Wafi boy, please define worry. I keep hearing this worry thing. What can be worry as a phenomenon? What exactly is worry?
Worry now like a unifying place for all of us that grew up from Delta.
It's a melting pot.
A melting pot.
So what's special about Warri?
I'm from Ughelli.
Okay.
Ughelli is about 10-minute drive from Warri.
Oh, is this still 10 minutes? Is the road good enough?
Yes, 10-minute drive. Okay. Smooth road all the way to Port Harcourt.
Okay.
To Patani.
Patani, okay.
At the border between rivers and...
But what makes Warri tick? Because, we're here, Warri, not the carry last. What does it mean?
Warri, once you grow up in Warri, you must have that doings. We call it doings.
I can do it.
No, doings. Attitude.
Okay.
We're flexible.
It's called doings.
We call it doings. We are flexible. We are very energetic. We are very lively people.
Full of life. Optimistic.
Full of life. And very hilarious people.
Yes.
Life must go on.
Okay. So I don't know if you grew up in Warri too. I don't know. But you know that Warri not the carry last, have you?
Yeah, I know that's slang.
Okay. But you didn't grow up in Warri, did you?
No, I've never even been there.
Salome and Ajabota, maybe I go to Benin.
MUDI say you are Ajabota, you are Benin. Benin axis.
I don't think so.
And that's it on The Discourse with Dr. Ken.